Obviously not very happy with the way that second quarter panned out. He was talking things like character. He still believes that if the players are prepared to have a go and dig deep into their own abilities, he believes that they can still win the game. Andrew McGovern is still limping fairly badly, or was when he went off at half-time, but it really must be awfully difficult to try and motivate a side when they can see another game slipping away from them. Mick Malthouse, on the other hand, was happier with what his side did in that, particularly in the second half of that quarter. His emphasis was being first for the ball, because he felt that when they weren't was when Sydney Swans started to look good. He wants them to work on getting the ball out of the centre. That's where he felt that they were letting themselves down. And really the emphasis was to use the ball when they get possession of it, and much more of the same as they gave, particularly late Sandy in the second quarter.
Right, thank you, John. Just about set for a start then in the second half.
Interesting, Turley's off the ground for the West Coast Eagles. He doesn't seem injured. Jogged across to the dugout with Ashley McIntosh, who may be injured.
Yes, McIntosh spent the second quarter on the sidelines. So here we go. Harding and Tunbridge, no doubt, to start proceedings in the second half. With the Eagles leading by 25 points, Kelly had a good first half. It's a great try for Sydney. Pushes them down towards half forward. Mark not going to be paid at the back. Play on is the call. Minton Connell, but this time a whistle, and David Hart will be the recipient at centre half back. Runs around the sand patch, kicks towards Langdon, who had an influence when he came on in the second quarter. Socket off the ground by Nettlebeck. Mitchell straight on to Brunton. Sydney want the first goal. Minton Connell could have given a slight nudge, then tried to snare it from behind. Jakovic over the top. Creswell, the man at the bottom. Started on the interchange today for Sydney, but getting a chance. 25 metres out from the visitors' goal. Jakovic and Nettlebeck. Kemp leaves it for Lamb, who just gets a short kick. It passes through the arms of Doolan. Tunbridge almost throws it out to Lawson. Off to Kelly. Still outside 50 Sydney. Now just inside. Brunton's kick is high. Mainwaring's got to stand his ground as Strooper comes over the top, and Hart will tidy up for the West Coast Eagles.
Mutira going back with Angove, who knocks it away. Who's got the recovery? Angove this time. Well played from left half forward. Centering kick. Jakovic in best position. Got his hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Diving in there is White, and a whistle. So the margin, as it was at half-time, 25 points, and a bounce about 30 metres out from the Sydney Swans attacking goal. They led at quarter time by 8 points. They're trailing now. Tunbridge goes up and slaps it wide. Strooper overran the ball. On his knees, Hart. Jakovic boots it towards the outer side. Lewis got a hand to it and then held Higgins. That was silly play. Higgins will get the free.
They all do it nowadays, Dennis. It's just unfortunate you get caught.
It was running towards the Eagles' goal. Higgins needed to get it and turn and come back. He goes in short. Fripp. Down towards left half forward. It's about 60 metres out. Kicks towards the kickoff line. Nettlebeck in front. Fisted away. Roving it is Mitchell. Only as far as Jakovic. Jakovic pops it out wide. Intended for Wilson. With full stretch. Rakes it in. Peter Wilson was lively in the second term. No, out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in. So we had a couple of, well, one whistle. And the whistle that counted was from the boundary umpire.
Here's the throw-in. Tunbridge gets rid of his opponent illegally and then belts it out the back, but it's got to come back to Harding. Lewis or Lamb, he could have taken his choice. He chose the latter. Up towards the centre wing, Clappe. Put to ground after he took the kick. Hines couldn't take the mark. Evans could have got into the back. Langdon over the top. Lewis in late. And the umpire comes in and decides upon a bounce. But the Eagles have it in their half-forward line now. No addition to the half-time score. Hines has got to beat a couple. He can't. Tunbridge. Kelly. His hand pass goes astray. Mainwaring threads his way through some fairly heavy traffic. Slips as he took the kick, unfortunately. And a bit of respite for Sydney as Kelly takes the mark on the half-back flank. Goes straight across the ground. It's effective though. Brunton was there. to half-back, and this time it's Angove. To centre wing, Wilson to do the spoiling from behind. Waterman first to tie it out, chasing is Creswell. Waterman gets it out. The Eagles have the numbers. It's Kemp. Back to Wilson. Tumbles a punt down towards half forward. Bayes chanced his arm. Could prove to be costly. Evans to Langdon. Back again to the running Matera now. He'll accelerate once he picks up the footy. Shoots in towards goal and misses. Peter Matera, what's that now, Donald? 3-2? 3-3. 3-3, and at one stage he'd kicked their entire score of 2-1.
Lunchtime at the WACA ground, Subiaco Oval, or wherever on the west coast. As Bayes to bring it in, goes towards the outer side. Matera forced to spoil from behind. Booted by Lewis towards the wing. Angove miscued slightly. Waterman didn't have the ball, must take the free on the wing. Chris Waterman.
Langdon's hurt himself too, Dennis, behind play.
Yes, still on the ground. Carl Langdon. Meantime, a mark is played to Dunkley.
He's done his ankle. Oh, jeez. Let's hope he's all right too.
Dunkley's played well at half-back. Kicks towards midfield. In front, Nettlebeck. Good mark too. Thinks about playing on. Wants to. Feeds the hand pass out wide over the head of Higgins. Still he goes. Matera comes in. Almost got the ball there. Higgins. Matera goes on to the next man. And the next. Brunton. Under pressure now. Mitchell back to Brunton. But great pressure there by Matera initially. Almost forced an error. Eventually, Sydney able to work it out. This is Angove across the ground. Too much carry for Kelly. Swooping on the ball, Waring goes looking for Sumich. Knocked away by Bayes. Taken by Mooney, who heads for the boundary line. It bounces out of bounds at left half forward for the West Coast Eagles, who lead 54-28.
Langdon up, Dennis. Appears to be okay.
Good news. He came onto the ground in the second term and lent some fire to the forward line. And the Eagles in general, they lacked a spark in that first term. Tunbridge goes to ground in the tackle. Mitchell going nowhere. Sliding in, Brunton paddles it towards the boundary line and will have a throw in.
Under 19 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Harding, front spot. It bounced off Paul Kelly's head. Tunbridge, Lewis with a roundhouse right, putting the Eagles inside 50. He wanted Evans, but he may find Mooney. Waring just keeps it in play. Shepherding allows him to get a kick in towards goal, and he bounces it through. Extraordinary goal to Chris Waring, his first. And the Eagles extend their lead 9-6 to 4-4.
Well, he must have been just so close to the boundary line. His body definitely was over. He must have just kept the ball in. Look, feet over the ground. He's just kept it in. And clean bowls everybody over Lewis's head. Oh, could you believe it? Luckily we had a camera here to record it.
Waring gets his first goal, the 9th for the West Coast Eagles. Back in the middle. This is Doolan. Kicks it down inside the attacking 50. Over the top, Jakovic. At the second attempt, did it fall to him? No, not paid. Hart off the ground out wide. It comes towards the boundary line. Kelly leads in the race. Will it stay in? No, it trickles across. Paul Kelly, who turns 23 in a fortnight, has been busy. He's tried very hard. So it's thrown in. Harding slaps it away. Taken by Doolan. Knocked on there by Harding. Waring, who's been in the thick of it, is claimed will have a bounce. Bounce the defensive side of left centre wing for the West Coast Eagles. 9-6 to 4-4. 17.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Grey day, but unlikely we'll get any rain. Waring again goes in. Knocked away from him. This is Lamb. He boots it down towards half forward. Pios was pushed in the back, and the umpire had a perfect angle on that one. So Paul Pios playing his 50th this afternoon to take this kick just forward of the wing.
Heads up towards Carl Langdon. In front, couldn't take the mark. Doolan waiting down, gives it to Leon Higgins. Pumps it back towards centre wing once more, and the mark taken by Nettlebeck. Looking at his options down in the forward line.
Well, really, he can hang on to it as long as he likes, I suppose, to a degree. The umpire telling him now to hurry up.
Oh, shocking kick. The third of two options, Sandy.
Straight to Jakovic. Yes, you're right, Jack Dyer.
Oh, what
Wilson.
a tackle. That was out of frustration by Minton Connell.
Jakovic is away. Casually bounces his way across the half-back line. Runs his full distance, then gives it to the racehorse. Peter Matera. Long, low, but also wide. And from the chest of Hines, it goes over.
Mitchell White up and okay, but this tackle just a mere act of frustration by Minton Connell. It's pity he couldn't play like that all the time. Really attacked that situation ferociously.
Barry Mitchell handing it back. Tony Evans.
Touched.
Play on is called. It may still result in a goal. Goes up towards Pios. The hand pass was just a little too far out in front for him, and it's sent safely over the boundary line by Paul Kelly. As Turley and McIntosh.
Looks like the right quadricep, Sandy. McIntosh. We wondered why he went off. He's got that right thigh heavily bandaged.
And another throw in. Under 15.5 remaining. In the third quarter, Sydney have not yet added to their half-time score. The Eagles have kicked 1-1, but we've got a stalemate at the moment in this area of the ground. Tunbridge, who's done a great deal of work for Sydney this season. Harding tries to pick it up at the second attempt as it goes out the back door, and the umpire will have no alternative but to come in and have another bounce. (9-6) plays 4-4. Mitchell almost threw it out, but it was taken by Mainwaring. Brunton loses it, so too does Kemp. Brunton goes in again and tries to sweep it away. Socket off the ground. It's going to be dangerous. It's out of bounds on the full. Unfortunate for Dunkley, but it's going to let Mainwaring head down towards Sumich territory. He ignores the lead. He could just about head for home, actually. He does. Now, has he got Hines back? Oh! Dunkley again.
That's his second ripper.
Just seemed to stick. Off to Higgins. Sydney out of stride. Towards Doolan. Lamb could have given a little bit of a nudge. Yes. Said the umpire. It was only little, but it was there. And so Doolan will take it.
The West Coast Eagles have kicked the last 6 goals in this game. This is Mitchell at half-back. Comes across intended for Tunbridge, but always an element of danger. Opening things up for the Eagles on the rebound. Harding can go to Lewis, who can kick a goal. Chris Lewis goes short instead. Sumich on the lead. He's taken this mark. In fact, it's Hines. Hines has given the lead. There's plenty of movement on the forward line. Hines, the man who's taken the mark. And he will kick from about 25 metres out directly in front.
Well, Mitchell a little ambitious, trying to get it across to Tunbridge. Chopped out by Harding.
So Hines kicks and misses. 9-7 the Eagles. Sydney a 4-4. Always the danger, of course, squaring the ball too soon, as the Swans did there. It really does open up the middle. And the West Coast Eagles almost getting a goal. As it is, they're dominating proceedings. Here's Mark Bayes to bring it in. Straight down the middle. Big pack at the fall of the ball, and Hines does very well. Keen to make amends. Strong grab. Sumich comes on a lead this time. Put into his path, but Bayes right there, step for step, got a fist on it. Angove at half-back to Bayes, who's run on. He goes down towards the wing and pulls it back. Clever kick. Lawson's got it. Oh,
it's gone.
He thought what I thought. Matera goes over the top. Look out. Well, Doolan, he had a smorgasbord to choose from. He had to hit somebody. It's picked up by Harding. Down towards centre half forward. Lewis comes at it with conviction. Got a fist on it. Knocked on by Brunton. A chance for the Swans, but Waters had other ideas, and he's claimed and will have a ball up inside the centre square. So good, strong stuff there. Sydney trailed by 25 points at half-time. They've trailed at half-time in 10 matches this season. They've come back to win just one. That was against the Eagles in round 2.
There's that game played at the SCG. Clappe couldn't take it on the half volley. Thrip over the top of the pack. And again another bounce. Doolan. Mitchell. Tumbling a punt down towards Nettlebeck and Minton Connell. Minton Connell almost buries himself in the sand trying to take the mark. Waters over the top. Evans sneaks away from Lewis. Gets his kick. The bounce may favour Langdon. No, it doesn't. The back is Mooney. Oh, he goes wide and over the line.
Well played by Carl Langdon there. Denied him his left foot. I mean, Mooney hasn't played a lot of football, but Langdon knew enough to force him onto his right. Good stuff.
So a throw in the Eagles left half forward region. Tunbridge to Lewis. Over the top, he saw Mitchell's in trouble. Waters gets him. Did he hold him?
Well, Barry certainly did draw the umpire's attention to his plight. A bit of experience on that occasion.
Back to Lewis again, right in the middle. Plays on. Wayne Waring gets him from behind, but he gets his kick, but only to straight to half. Jakovic. This game seems to have reached a level where the Eagles have control and maintaining control, but there's no real foot on the accelerator. Lewis in front is going to get the free kick. It hasn't reached any great heights apart from 2 or 3 marvellous marks, coupled by Dunkley in particular. Matera on the outer side leads in the race for the ball and then is sandwiched. So another throw in. Sweeping hand pass by Holmes. Back towards centre wing. Waters is there, hustled by Mitchell. And eventually over the line. 9-7 plays 4-4 as Leon Higgins picks himself up. Pretty quiet day for him. 7 kicks to date. Lewis over the top, trying to get something going. So too Waters goes into the middle. Kelly gets it out the back door. Lawson is quick if he can get free. Evans working hard for the Eagles. So too Kelly, as he always does for Sydney. And another bounce.
Just over 9 minutes then till 3/4 time. 9-7, 4-4. Sydney need a goal. Lewis thumps it about 15 metres. Cresswell stood up in the tackle. Angove away to Doolan. He's been busy. He's got the ball on the wing. He kicks down towards half forward. In front, Clappe, terrific mark. Nettlebeck. Well, 3 outstanding marks this afternoon. Nettlebeck centering. In front, Strooper almost interfered with. Jakovic knocked it away. Waterman back-fisted on. Taken by Nettlebeck again against the flow. Goes goalward. Good effort. Oh, terrific goal.
Well, that definitely is the scoring end down that end, which the Sydney Swans have kicked. That's what, 4 goals to the other end. It'll have to be 10 goals to the other, I think. That's, well, anyway, we don't worry, but that definitely is the scoring end. But
just numbers they are, Don. Just numbers.
And there's Nettlebeck following up after that great mark. There's been 4 terrific marks today. Boy, the boys have certainly got a high in the air.
Much needed goal to Sydney and the first to Nettlebeck. As the Eagles through Kemp go down towards the half forward line, but a good defensive mark taken by Lewis. Heads to the outer side. Thrip was his target. Bounces off Kemp. Goes in again. Blocks it up and holds it on centre wing for another bounce. Dean Kemp's had a wonderful season. Quiet today, but really has had a great year. Harding wins it. Down to Kemp. Waters puts it out into the open space for Hart, who has a look down towards the half-forward line. Sumic is there, twisting and turning. He's got to get round. Finding Pios. Celebrate your 50th game with a magical goal. No, he centres it, and centres it intelligently. Hart plays on. Could well have been touched. Back again to Langdon. Swings round on his left foot. High. Hines nudging at the back. Almost took it. Lewis off the ground, but no.
The umpire
Hines
right there, Sandy.
did pick up the nudge, Dom.
That's right. There's a Sydney Swans player down behind. He's up all right, but he's bent over. I think it's Dunkley.
This is Mooney finding Tunbridge in the back pocket. 9-7 plays 5-4. Goals hard to come by in this second half, with each side just having booted the one. Craig Turley is about to come back on.
Pios off.
So Paul Pios off for a spell. We're just on 6 3/4 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
9-7, 5-4. Tunbridge hits it hard. His knee is Mitchell to Doolan. Angove puts inside the attacking 50. Mitten Connell, but a strong mark is held in front by Djakovic. Wonderful athlete.
Yeah, he's starting to really develop as a player, Dennis Djakovic.
Here's Hart. Right half back towards centre wing. Langdon comes on a searching lead. He's got the ball. He plays on immediately. Interesting kick. Well, he knew they were down there. Matera's got it. Is it right half forward? Goes looking for Hines. Knocked away. Comes forward though. An opportunity for Turley. Turley's kick bounces towards goal. It's off target and behind. Pretty nondescript football at the present time. Just under 6 minutes remaining. 9-8 plays 5-4. Bayes towards the outer side. Tripp close to the boundary line. Matera reluctant to let him go. Tripp plays on. Looks for Brunton. Too much carry though. Brunton may still get it on the ground. No, it's Cresswell. Gets it across towards Brunton. Knocked away by Wilson. A little bit goes in rather carelessly on Wilson, and Wilson will get the free.
Nine kicks, 7 hand passes for Peter Wilson, so he's been busy with 16 possessions. Again looks for Langdon, who's heavily outnumbered. Cresswell waiting down in front, got a bad bounce. Mainwaring. Just on 5 minutes remaining, and a good mark taken by Lewis. Kelly can run down the ground here. He looks to have just the one bounce. Kicks up towards half forward, and Strooper takes the mark. Looked to be seriously injured early on in the game. Strooper kicks very close to the man on the mark.
Really, I think that was an infringement, because what he did was just run up and down the line. He didn't cross the line, Strooper.
Here's Mitchell with a snap. There's another one to Sydney. Yes. Well, they're battling it out, Sydney. They're not out of it yet either. 6-4 plays 9-8.
Barry Mitchell's been getting up underneath the feet of that pack, but I don't think it was a free kick. That or shouldn't have been play on. Djakovic, we should say, ran over the mark.
Well, the crowd upset the mark wasn't paid there to Mitchell White. It had to be close. Just over 4 minutes remaining till three-quarter time, and the Eagles lead by 22 points. So they've conceded 3 points to the Swans in this term. Here's Lawson. And the Swans showing a bit more energy at the moment. Brunton going nowhere. Back comes Lawson. Harding at close quarters gets it to Kemp. And Kemp boots it down towards half forward, and Turley knocked away by Lewis. Dunkley has been pretty impressive today. In trouble that time. Needs it to go out of bounds. It hasn't. As a result, they've got a problem. No, they haven't. Turley hand passed it straight to Lewis, who boots it straight to Lamb. Lewis gets it away. That's the Eagles' Lewis to Wilson. Towards half forward. Turley, backhander, came from Lewis. And the free kick will be taken by Turley. Craig Turley, right half forward for the West Coast Eagles, who lead 62-40.
Look at Langdon by himself now. This is where Sydney let themselves down.
Thanks, Don. Carl's got it now down
Sorry
towards
to
the
cut
pocket.
across you, Dennis, but he was there for 5 minutes. He ran by himself. Dunkley's his man. Got a problem with concentration, Dunkley, I think. He'd have to on that occasion because he'd let him go a couple of times.
Probably got a problem with fatigue too. He's tried pretty hard down there. He was just in the play moments ago. Got caught on the rebound. Here's Langdon from 40 metres out. Good looking kick. It's a goal.
Well, whether it be fatigue or lack of concentration, made him pay Langdon. You've got to have both of those aspects of the game certainly tuned. He was there for a long, long time. Carl Langdon, bad marking on the forward line. Langdon certainly has given them a bit since coming off the interchange bench at quarter time.
The Eagles answer. Harding wins the centre bounce, but it's his opponent Tunbridge who tries to take it away. Not to be. Lewis, a high kick up towards half forward. Langdon underneath, sits and waits. Hart could have been held. Will take the free kick just outside the 50. So the Eagles finishing the quarter with a flurry. Sumich on the lead. Lewis at the back had the chance. Applies a vice-like tackle, but the player didn't have the football.
Chris. A little bit of aggro there on that tackle, or after the tackle by Lewis.
And he gets the hand pass away. Sydney out of trouble. Thripp, however, trying to do the work from behind. He's the first to recover. Oh, Matera did very well.
It's quick, isn't he, Matera?
Oh. Just a little bit of frustration creeping in from both sides. The Eagles unable to really break away. And Sydney unable to get probably any closer than 20 points. Lamb off without it. Kemp may get another chance. Tunbridge does well, the big man. But out it comes to his opponent, Harding. Chips it down towards half forward, probably gains 35 metres before Dale Lewis sees it over the line.
It's McGovern. Crutches.
Just on a minute and a half remaining. Tunbridge plucks it out of the air. Sydney would dearly love another one. Thripp in front is going to be paid. He's just on the defensive side of centre wing. Out in front of Lawson. Spills the mark. Hart picks it up beautifully. Steadies, kicks back into the centre. Lewis. First to recover, will soccer off the ground. Perhaps the Eagles may get a chance. No, Dunkley's kick comes back towards centre wing. Kelly leading in the race for the football. Still going, Paul Kelly. Up to half forward. Sydney needs a mark, but not to be. It's Jakovic again who holds it up. Back to Mitchell White. On centre wing he goes, looking for Clappe. Turley there also ripped off the ball and he didn't have it. And he will take it on centre wing.
Well played by Turley, just knocking the ball away. He's got the kick then. Spent some time on the interchange bench. Goes in short. Langdon, another who's done that today, can't control it. And Kemp's in there too. He's been on the interchange bench. Langdon knocks it out of bounds and it will be thrown in. 10-9 plays 6-4 here at Subi. Earlier today, Essendon just getting home against Fitzroy. Very important game for both those teams, and this a very important game for the West Coast Eagles. Free kick to Tunbridge will be the last action of the term. Three-quarter time at Subi, and the Eagles have increased their lead from half-time. It was 25 points then. It's 28 points now.
(10-8). 10-8 plays 6-4. 68-40. 28 points the margin. And here we go into the final quarter. Can Sydney get up? and make it 2-zip against the Eagles this year. Kelly gives them a fighting chance at the start of the last quarter as he gets it down to the half forward. No Don. Minton Connell was not paid the mark. Hart tried to take it. He couldn't. Strooper gets the hand pass away to Cresswell. Cresswell a hurried kick in towards full forward. No one at home, however. Clappe sees it go over the line and 1 by.
Does really well at the centre. Paul Kelly runs hard off the side of the wing there and gets in very, very quickly. He was responsible for getting that ball out on that occasion for Sydney.
6-5 plays 10-8. Mitchell White, lovely long kick back into play through the arms of Harding. At the back is Kemp. Doolan lost it. Higgins now a chance. Sneaks away from Lewis. Wider to Cresswell. Sydney attacking once again. Floating it up towards half forward. Jakovic. Good mark. Asked to play on and does so to Hart. Towards Langdon. That's a good kick. Good lead. Now Mainwaring. He's got Matera running. Away goes Matera. Oh, have a look at this, and bang, he goes to ground and loses it. Perhaps trying to do a little too much as Kelly rebounds back towards centre wing. Hart leading in the race for the ball, but Lawson also is there and he's quick. Langdon hovering over the top, and the umpire comes in and decides upon a bounce. So the bounce just forward of centre wing for Sydney.
They trail 41-68. Tunbridge, who's done pretty well, backhands it down. Lamb knocks it through the pack. Doolan close to the boundary line. Can't keep it in. The Swans led by 8 points at quarter time. They played very well in the opening term. They trailed by 25 at half time, and really that's been the story of the game. Both just holding their own. Down goes Mitchell. Was carried forward according to the umpire. Higgins has it forward of the wing. Goes down towards the 50. In front Clappe should have marked that one. Now Nettlebeck a chance. Rides a bump. Did well. He's 50 metres out. Pinpoints the ball. Strooper. David Strooper, the 43rd man taken in last November's draft. He's kicked 33 goals for the Sydney Swans this season. Good pickup.
Still lacked a little consistency when it was at Fitzroy, but really has blossomed since going to Sydney. David Strooper.
Kicks from 40 metres out. Good effort. It's a goal.
Well, Sydney really starting to make a fight of this game. Kicked their 7th. Not too many goals kicked down that end of the ground, but Strooper has come back onto the ground. He really did receive a heavy knock, but it was more or less because he dropped his
head.
Well, his head, Sandy, he really went down to ground and really copped the consequences. You've got to stand up in those situations. I was glad to see he's all right.
So Sydney fight back. 10-8 plays 7-5. 21 points the margin. From the middle, Cresswell couldn't take it cleanly. Lawson shows dash around his teammate Doolan. He goes, but he'll want to get onto the right boot. He does now. An opportunity for Brunton. Sydney get the next one and throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Down towards the 50-metre line, Minton Connell beaten on that occasion. Mitchell White does well. Back towards centre wing. Lamb and Turley, the pair combined. Will the West Coast Eagles steady with a reply? Carl Langdon gives them the opportunity.
Somebody's got to drop into that hole. Simic is going to lead into it. He can if he wishes. They're slow. Sydney, aren't they? Now Lewis is getting back.
Langdon's going to be kicking from just on 50 metres, and it's not a good kick. Higgins off to Lewis. That also is a poor kick. Slewing off the side of the boot. And caught in the covers. So Waters ignores the lead of Hines. Goes longer. Lewis and Sumich. Lewis got a hand to it. Hines off to Langdon. Around his body. High kick. Lewis the only one at home for the Eagles, and the mark is taken by Jason Mooney.
He's been impressive today, Mooney. Had a good game last week. Probably not as good as last week today, but still he's done quite a few good things.
Angove at half back. towards the wing. Clappe in front. Not too sophisticated there by Nettlebeck. (10-8, 7-5). Eagles in front. Clappe back towards half forward. Hines is the target. Waiting behind Chris Lewis has taken the mark about 40 metres out. Haven't seen much of Lewis this afternoon. Get a chance to kick a goal here.
Higgins could have gone back on the mark had he realised what Lewis was doing, and Lewis was walking with his back to goals and the mark. Could have gone back quite a way. Lewis would have been unsure of where the actual mark was because the umpire was well off that mark. Could have run up and put him right off.
Lewis kicks. It's bending away to the left. It's close. It's a goal.
And the trumpets continues, Don.
Is it a tucket or a long tucket, Sandy? Because that is really quite a long, drawn-out blow on that bugle or bugles. Nonetheless, Lewis has kicked his first. Well, he's done a few good things, hasn't he, today? Chris Lewis has been picked up by Higgins.
A steadier for the Eagles through Lewis. Socket off the ground. Sydney wanting a quick reply now. Let's see what they can do. Clappe across half back. Hassling him is Lawson. Clappe still going. Now he loses it. Lawson's the one who's still going. Ripped off it by Harding. Wilson keeps it in play and sweeps a hand pass. He was looking for Langdon. Instead found Holmes. Matera pulled off the football when he didn't have it, but he managed to scoop it forward. Evans now up towards half forward. Hines gave a little nudge. He's allowed to go on. He'll kick a goal.
Well, there mustn't have been much in it because the umpire was right there. A subtle nudge by Hines on Mooney allowed him to gather the ball. We'll watch this on replay. Evans on the right foot. You see there the nudge out by Hines by himself. Nice chip over the top, but definitely a free kick.
Turn up.
His second goal too, David Hines. I'll have to retract just what I said, Sandy.
33 points the margin back in the middle. Harding did well. Tunbridge has generally been the master in there though. Quick kick out up the middle by Mitchell, only as far as Hart. Hart across half back. Langdon. 12-8, 7-5. Langdon goes for distance down towards centre half forward. The Swans have got the numbers and Lewis takes a very good mark. Plays on immediately. Doolan storms away from half back. Goes towards half forward. Nettlebeck works his way in front. Could have almost got a free kick. Unlucky not to claim the mark. This is Lamb coming away. Squares the ball. Here's trouble for the Swans. Waterman's got it in space. Goes down towards the attacking 50. Sumich comes on the lead. Awkward half volley. Hines couldn't control the ricochet. Now they battle after it. Hines comes out backwards. Slapped out of there by Bays. And again, it goes out towards the boundary. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Left half forward for the West Coast Eagles, and Peter Sumich rather gingerly walking back towards his position. In fact, he stopped out there on the half forward flank and watches the boundary throw in. Tunbridge got it on the bounce to Kelly, who's tried his heart out. Kicks it around the outer side. Nettlebeck almost again. Thripp was held, nothing doing. Nettlebeck, well played. Very little space in which to operate. Played it superbly. Thripp back to Nettlebeck. He's at right half forward. Goes looking for Struper. Missed by Jakovic. Minton Connell's got it. If he can get it to Struper, they could get a goal. Struper overran the ball. Little toe poke by Mitchell White down there. Got it out of the zone at least temporarily. Over the ball is Thripp. On top of him is Hart. And we've got a whistle.
Under 17 minutes remaining in this match. And look, Terry Thripp picks himself up. The Eagles gaining the ascendancy after quarter time in this game, and have held on to it as Turley goes to Clappe up towards Kemp, with him Brunton. Langdon now towards the 50-metre line. Hines is his target. Off the pack, Main Waring. Still outside 50. Tony Evans into the open goal goes the left footer. Post up. (12-9) plays 7-5. Mark Bays to the outer side. Lewis is going to have to make ground. He does. Gets a hand to the ball before it goes over the boundary line. Harding out the back. No one at home, however. Dunkley. Mitchell. Oh, put his teammate Doolan under some pressure. He's assisted by Holmes. Nettlebeck on the outer wing. Ripped off it, not before he gets it across to Creswell. Further forward to Thripp. Can Sydney mount something here? Centering kick in towards Strooper at half forward, and he takes the mark.
Good leading kick on that occasion.
Loose players for Sydney up in that forward line.
It's Creswell, isn't it? Now, that was good running by that youngster, because he was running to support Thripp on the outer wing earlier. He came down from the wing, down on the half forward flank, and then Strooper spotted him.
So Darren Creswell is going to be kicking from 35 metres. Drop punt in towards goal. Pretty good looking kick off the boot, and it's a goal. Creswell gets his first, and Sydney hang in there. 8-5 plays 12-9.
Well, the boy from North Hobart started on interchange. It's good to see the players run across, give him a little bit of encouragement. Looked a little all at sea when he first came on, but nonetheless he's settled down into the tone of the game and also the speed. 1 goal, 1 this afternoon.
So the margin 28 points now. Bronton came at the ball, couldn't control it. Scrambled forward by Mitchell. Wilson misses the mark. Turley picks it up. The hand pass was knocked down by Thripp. The hand pass in turn came from Nettlebeck. This is Creswell, who's relishing the opportunity out there at the present time. Strooper looking for a free kick. Mitten Connell in trouble, needs support, did brilliantly. Oh, well played. And then he muffs it. He kicks it behind. No one near him. Both the Eagles were on the ground, and Mitten Connell emerged from the pack. Couldn't believe his luck. And missed.
Put himself under a bit of pressure. You do that often, don't you? When you actually pull yourself away, get up in the open, you muck it up. But it was still a good effort by Mitten Connell.
Used to happen to the Roadrunner. Here's Wilson on the outer side, up towards half back. Hart chips it out wide. It's marked out there by Waters. So Waters, the defensive side of left centre wing, goes down through the wing towards half forward. Kemp cleverly back on the loose ball. Lewis on his knees hangs on. Chris Lewis about 60 metres from goal. He's kicked 1 in this term, his only goal of the afternoon. Puts it up in the air for Hines.
Oh, that's a mark, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Mooney's claiming it.
Put his hand to it first, the fist.
I thought Hines got a bit of it. He's trying to punch it away. Well, you say so, Don. So a bounce about 30 metres out from goal. He's got it now, Don. That's justice. Over the top, taken by Mitchell. Mitchell swings it out wide. Doolan, he's at left half back. He's tried hard today, Ben Doolan. Nuggety son of a gun. He kicks it high towards the wing. Nettlebeck having a good term. Has taken a good mark. His confidence is rising by the moment. He's got on top of Clappe as the kick goes inside the 50. Both players hanging on down there. Hart in deep trouble. Flicks it out. Taken by Waterman. Back towards Clappe. Awkward half volley. He's got plenty of support though. Lamb releases Waters,
who runs through the centre. Kicks to Lewis at half forward. Spills what he should have taken. Slaps it back into the centre. Kemp is there. So too Tony Evans. Pushed towards Tunbridge. The big man stops the run. His hand pass spills free. Dunkley is there.
Oh, look at that for a kick.
Lewis is in trouble behind play, as Main Waring will just keep it inside. Kemp all alone inside 50. And he'll have a shot. Dean Kemp hasn't kicked a goal today. Lovely drop punt in towards the square. In the big pack, see it over the line for one behind. 12-10. Those 8-6. Under 12 minutes remaining in this match. The Eagles holding Sydney and should gain 4 valuable premiership points. Matera back to Waters, still outside 50. Pumping it long, wants Hines. Lewis lets him go for it alone. Waiting down in front, Turley, who bangs through another one. First one for Craig Turley, 13th for the Eagles. 13-10, plays 8-6.
Well, they're struggling. You can't criticise Sydney for their lack of endeavour. They certainly tried pretty hard. It's just the West Coast have got that little bit more class. Ball to ground, Turley in the right place. Then again, you could always argue, why wasn't there a man between Turley and the ball, or a man with Turley? So I suppose in some areas they've really got to tighten up, Sydney.
13-10 to 8-6 then. Tunbridge knocked on by Mainwaring. This is Kemp. Mainwaring, very good game from him. Out to Lamb, who goes down towards full forward. Chris Lewis in front, knocked away by Higgins. This is Bayes. Finds Lewis. Almost got into trouble there. Dunkley has it. He's at left half back. Liked his game today. Interesting duel here in Langdon. Thripp. Waiting behind was Waterman. This is Hart. Common name in the AFL these days. A high kick down towards half forward. In from the side. Lewis claims the mark for Sydney.
Really, Mooney was manhandling Evans, the umpire right there, and decided to let it go.
Dale Lewis from the half-back line goes to the wing, and Tunbridge through the hands of Harding. Clappe waits behind. Very high kick back towards half forward. Hines favoured by the kick. It was drifting his way. Couldn't hang on though. Brunton stopped it clean. Mooney went into assist. Well done by Mitchell. On the burst, Higgins towards half forward, and the mark is held by Strooper. Runners inside. Back it comes to Kelly. Good looking kick towards Minton Connell. Minton Connell still going, but he's outside the 50 now. Tries to give it back to Strooper. Great defence by White, but he overran the ball. Taken by Lawson. He was tripped, and he'll get the free kick.
It was a terrific build-up by Sydney. They're running in straight lines and coming past in straight lines, keeping the ball down the centre corridor.
Exciting football that time. Nettlebeck again was interfered with. No free kick, but play goes on. Nettlebeck inside the 50. No support at all.
Well, he had support. He had Doolan there, but he neglected Doolan.
Waters kicks it to Turley.
This is Hines. Out comes Sumich. Holding on from both players, perhaps. Kemp. Look at the skill of Kemp, and there's another one.
Robert Flowerlight.
Deep kick gets his first, and the Eagles starting to coast. 14-10, plays 8-6.
Well, there was a little bit of indecision here by the umpire. Sumich and Bayes holding. Look. Then he goes in, Kemp. One hand, left, right. Showing a ton of speed, anticipation. It just went for him, didn't it?
He marched into goal.
Staff Sergeant Kemp.
14-10 to 8-6. So the margin out to 40 points now inside the last 10 minutes of this game. Tunbridge has battled manfully, gets it down. Shark though by Lamb towards half forward. Lewis is there with Kemp. Heads towards the boundary line as Dale Lewis. Heads to the ground too. That'll be thrown in. So Michael Malthouse will pick up another win. Quite a remarkable record with the Eagles. 48 wins, 2 draws and 17 losses. In percentage terms, not much better than that going around in the league at the moment. There's the throw in. Comes behind. Mitchell in trouble. Dunkley against the flow. Works it towards the outer side, but the kick goes too far out of bounds on the full. 14-10, 8-6. Wilson. It's been a lackluster performance though from the West Coast Eagles. They've played in fits and starts. Harding's kick off hands, waiting behind. It's picked up by Higgins and running it out Barry Mitchell. He's played pretty well today for man under suspension. This is Higgins. towards the wing.
Does it make a difference?
Stripper's got it. Does to most of them.
My word.
Here's Stripper. The recipient of a very heavy knock early in the game. High kick, Minton Connell. Good mark. Man on down the ground. Going back is Nettlebeck. He ignores that, squares it. He thought it out very well. Now Kelly can go to Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck will have to stretch. Oh, that's a teaser. Oh, it's terrible. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Well, it was unfolding out there, but the Swans couldn't make it happen.
Pios and McIntosh look on. They need not fear. Their team is going to walk out of this ground with a win today. Wilson asks the question. Jakovic is going to get the free kick. Becoming an important player for the West Coast Eagles.
He's done very well today, Sandy, at centre-half back. Talented player.
40 points is the margin, as Craig Turley has it in the back pocket. Goes long towards centre wing. Hines had front spot. Doolan tries to cut across him. Hines has plenty of assistance. Harding on to Mainwaring. He's got runners inside. Elects to go over the top to Lamb. Now Waterman, still outside 50. Now he's inside 50 and he may goal.
Well done, Muddy. That's his nickname. I don't know how he got it, but it was in the paper this morning. A good article on Chris Waterman. Always delivers the ball well. Starting to come into his own as a player. Waterman. There he is, another dodge. 45 metres out. Trusty left foot. But always good kicks to left footers.
Chris Waterman gets his first, and the Eagles hit the 100 mark. 15-10, plays 8-6. $11 players having scored goals for them today. The most prolific being Peter Matera with 3. David Hines and Peter Sumich each have 2. Harding to take the free kick out of the centre. To Hart. High and long. In towards full forward.
Yes, he's picked that one, Sandy.
Holding on.
Yes, Beige was holding. He was caught behind. Oh, Sumich shaking his head.
I think he's saying he's been doing it all day, though. And at last he's got it. That's right.
Well, do you think so?
That's an investment for next week.
Well, there's the incident, but your head would be going up and down, wouldn't you, agreeing with the umpire? Sort of shaking it in disbelief.
I'll have to ask him.
Sumich going for his third. 2 goals he kicked were both in the second quarter. This one from 40 metres. He's not over the floor. That, Don, is 2 goals, 2 to Peter Sumich.
Below average performance for Peter Sumich this afternoon. He's been averaging about 4 goals a game.
Here's Kemp to Waters inside the centre square. He kicks inside the 50. Mitchell, well, he had the ball and he put it down. Perhaps it should have been an Eagles free. Brunton's kick not very good. Comes to Waters. Here's Lewis just outside the 50. He still goes. He makes it difficult for himself. Hard against the boundary line, and the kick goes straight to Mooney. Over the top. Holmes out of defence towards the wing. Turns them all around. They go back en masse. It's taken by Waterman. Waterman goes back into the forward line, intended for Turley, but the Swans have got the numbers around the ball, at least initially. Brunton's kick is charged down by Hines, and the crowd love that. Swans bench. Wheeler, who didn't figure in the 20, sitting there. He was the 21st man who came across. Mitchell, as he always does, striving hard in the pack, but for little return that time. And the ball up. 15-11 to 8-6.
Under 4 minutes remaining in this match. Matera tries to hammer it forward, but taken by Lewis. Thrip, the spoiler on Wilson, who ducked his head. Ball spills free to Clappe. Off to Harding, outside 50. Here comes Chris Lewis. He's got a prop. Sumich. Kelly tidies up. Gives it to Bays. Oh, had a bounce and then lost it. Can he regain it? Surges it forward. Gives it to Creswell. And now they've got a chance. Nettlebeck up towards Strooper. And he marks on the right half.
He was off then. Should be paid against him. That's exactly right. Well done, umpire.
And he stops and watches in awe as the Eagles surge it away. Harding off to Kemp. Around Lewis. To Hines. Couldn't take the mark. Inside 50, but this time over the line and a throw-in. In the Eagles attacking zone, they lead 15-11 to 8-6. In what has been a somewhat subdued game today. Tony Evans. He's going to get a shot. Distance may test him. He's going to be kicking from on 50. And he's going to have a shot. He kicked 1 goal in the second quarter. Oh, distance won't be a problem. Have a look at that for a kick. What a beauty. His second, and what a way to do it. 16-11 plays 8-6.
He's getting better with each game, Tony Evans. I like the way he attacks the ball. Big kick here from the little fellow. 48 metres out, gets onto the torpedo. They certainly do go if you get onto them properly, the torpedoes. But not enough players are proficient at the execution of the torpedo.
So it's a blowout now, out to 53 points. That's a goal he'll remember till the end of his career. Those torpedoes that go do stick in your mind, don't they? Tunbridge slaps it out, taken by Kemp. Kemp kicks inside the attacking 50. Now Lewis, can he mark this one? No, he's way under the ball. Mooney to Higgins. Away he comes, has a bounce, runs it out to the 50. Angove's got it. Angove high towards the wing. Lawson in front. Clever mark over the top, David Hart. 16-11 to 8-6. Hart towards half forward. Clever mark by Holmes. Holmes at left half back. High kick towards the wing. Nettlebeck, he's been good since half time. He works his way in front of Clappe. Something of a mismatch. He's a bit taller and better in the air. He marked again, gives it to Doolan, who kicks inside the 50. Strooper's up in front. Neither he nor Jakovic touched the ball. Minton Connell again. He's done a lot of work on the ground. He's outnumbered 2-1, Minton Connell. Wilson on his knees. Strooper on the assist now. Inside the 50. Tries to shovel it out. Creswell dragged off the kick well by White. And we've got a whistle. 107 plays 54. The dying moments of this game.
I think Strooper had learned. He ducked his head earlier and he ducked again into play. He was lucky to get away with his head on his shoulders again. He was lucky to get away with, well, no serious injury in the first quarter, David Strooper.
Tunbridge tried to do it all on his own initially. Lawson in to help. Can't take it. Harding running the boundary line. Kicks to centre wing. Langton takes the mark. Carl Langdon may well have the last kick in this game. In fact, he will, because there's the siren. And victory to the West Coast Eagles, winning 16-11, 107. Sydney Swans, 8-6, 54. The West Coast Eagles led by 25 points at half-time. And they've increased that to eventually run out winners by 53 points. Their main goal scorers here at Subiaco today. Well, Peter Matera had a fine start to the game. He kicked the first 2 goals won that the team scored, and he finished the day with 3. Tony Evans contributed 2, David Hines 2, and Peter Sumich, who's not 100%, also booted 2 goals. So a very good team performance by the West Coast Eagles, who had 11 players who booted goals, whilst for Sydney, Barry Mitchell booted 2, and he was their main contributor, with Simon Minton-Connell also 2. As we go down to the ground now, here's John Rogers with a special guest.
Thanks, Andy. I've got Chris Waterman with me. Chris, fancy yourself as a bit of a goal kicker coming up from the back line there?
Oh, I've got a bit of room, so I made the most of it and had a crack at them.
Yeah. Mate, what were your impressions of the game? It looks sort of a bit confusing from the sidelines. Tough game, or they make you work?
Yeah, it's very hard for either side to get away. I mean, at one stage they kicked a couple and we kicked a couple, and no side could sort of get away. It wasn't until the last quarter where we sort of that 3 or 4 goal break, then we got a couple more, which made it 5 or 6 and made their job a lot tougher.
They made you work hard for victory, though.
Oh, they certainly did. They always do, the Swans, and they beat us early on the year. It was one game we really had to win.
You seem to be, you've settled down beautifully in that back line, nice and cool, plenty of time to do what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard job, and we've got a lot of young guys in the back line with this. Slowly but surely, week by week, getting the hang of it, and it's coming together well.
Chris, thanks for talking to us. Go and have a shower. You've earned it.
Thanks, John.
Yes, thank you, John. Chris Waterman just getting that 1 goal in the final quarter, but he certainly did enjoy that one. Just repeating the final score here at Subiaco. The West Coast successful, 16-11, 107. Sydney, 8-6, 54.
Obviously not very happy with the